All right, this video is going to be all about rewarding slash reinforcing, meaning every time that we reinforce our child's behavior, we know that they're more likely to do that again in the future. So if they just read a book with you and that was something you really were working hard on and you're really thrilled about it, make sure that you reinforce and you'll be more likely to get them to read a book with you again tomorrow. So I'll talk about reinforcement and the different styles that we do to help with that. So some ideas for things you can do is immediately after you've completed the task, you can put something sensory in their path. A lot of kids will work hard for sensory things, things that are squishy, things that feel really cool, things that light up or make a fun sound. Bubbles is a huge one. So kind of figuring out what they like. Play-Doh is always good. Maybe something new that they haven't seen before would help. New toys, things that they've forgotten about that they haven't played with in a long time, or just a preferred toy, like their most favorite toy. Take it away, when they go to bed at night and bring it out after they've already completed their work for the day. Something that a lot of kids will work really hard for and continue to work and continue to repeat the behavior for is attention. Your attention, your excitement, your undivided attention toward them, fist bumps, tickles, high fives, a hug, your voice inflection, your facial expression, your words of affirmation saying, I'm so proud of you. Just if you can get really excited, a lot of kids will really be reinforced by that and more likely to do that activity again. Some kids really need breaks, so they're reinforced with a break. Every time that they do some math problems for you, okay, you get to have a 5-minute break and you can set a little visual timer for that. If they need a longer break, go for it. Some time for them to just sit, for them to play, to just do their own thing, whatever they want to do for a set amount of time. That can be really valuable. A lot of kids also need tech time, or they really like tech time and will work for it. So, okay, you get 10 minutes on the computer or with the TV. You can have a special movie or show or a new game on your iPad or even just some iPad time. Some kids will work really hard for music, dancing, a specific song they might really like, things that have their favorite character, stickers, time for coloring, being silly, playing a dress-up game. They might like having some new art supplies, like some new markers. Some kids really like rough play. If you pick them up and you spin them around, or they get to jump or throw things, like you throw them on the couch, if they get to like swing, that can be extremely reinforcing for them. Food is always a big one. I would say do a very small amount of a favorite snack or a treat. So maybe like a mini M&M every time they do a problem or something like that. And I would also randomly intersperse the food or treat with other kinds of reinforcement. That would be ideal. So they're not coming to completely rely on food as always being the motivator, but maybe sometimes they get a special sticker and the next time they get to play outside for 5 minutes, and then the next time it's an M&M, for example. I really suggest when you're looking for how your kid will be reinforced is just to wait and see what they're interested in, what they gravitate toward, and what they would be willing to work for. Maybe they wake up and tell you what they most want to do that day, or they show you. They go toward that thing. And then as soon as you see that, set up a contingency for them to earn it. Oh, you really want to play with the bubbles today? Okay, let's first write your name, then we can play with bubbles. Sometimes it might be best to just start playing with them in the morning, having fun with them and really building a relationship. And then once you have them interested and wanting more of your attention and wanting more of the fun items or the playtime, then you can stop and say, okay, we're going to do 3 of these things before we can do more or have more. And then tell them exactly how much time that they have to work for. So maybe we're going to work for 10 minutes, or give them a set number of equations to complete, a certain stack of flashcards, something where they know that there's going to be an end to the work. Like I said, a visual timer can be extremely helpful for that, and there's tons of apps on your phone for those things. Lastly, a token economy can be a great way, especially if kids are a little bit older and they're learning to work for things that aren't immediate. That can be really simple. So maybe they earn a bunch of smaller things that adds up to a bigger thing. So if they earn 5 stickers on a sticker chart, then when they're done, they get to open the new dollar store prize that they got. You can just use a whiteboard or a piece of paper to draw some squares or circles, and they're earning little smiley faces all along throughout their work time, and then at the end they get a big break. They get to watch a preferred movie, for example. Token economies can also look like pom-pom jars or dollars that they're earning to exchange in a store. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but find one that works well for you, and they don't have to be expensive. But having a reward system or reinforcement system is going to be the difference between you getting your child to work and